All right, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the beach Dutch style aquarium. One of my first videos on YouTube, and it's been, I don't know, 2 months maybe, a bit more than that. As you can see, a lot has changed. A lot of the plants are pretty grown in. I mean, this hygrophila is kind of insane, honestly. Um, the Glosso in the front, this was almost dead when I bought it, but now it's looking pretty good. Not exactly what it should look like, but it is gotten a lot better. A lot of this Hygrophila corymbosa compacta, the one that the rice fish is nibbling on, has changed quite a bit from how it originally looked. What we're going to be doing today, I'm going to be removing all the Hygrophila pinnatophyta because it gets too big and it's too hard to maintain. As you can see, like, it's spreading everywhere, and this is also happening in the back, which is pretty annoying because when they reach in the back and then you rip them out, sometimes it gets tangled with other stems, so you can rip those out too. So I have to be really careful when I take this out. And honestly, like, yeah, if I'm not careful or keeping up with it, this will go all over the tank. So I think I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to be replacing it. I don't know. You probably can't see this very well, but I'll try and get a... Yeah, I'll try and get an okay shot of it, I guess. You'll see better when I take it out of the bag later and put it in the tank, but... okay, you probably can't see any of this, but... Anyway, if you can't see any of this... Oh, maybe this is one leaf. This is Hygrophila pinnatophyta purple crystal. It is a rare variety of Hygrophila pinnatophyta, and it has, at least this one, I'm not quite sure what the growth pattern is like, but I've been told it grows similarly to just the normal Hygrophila pinnatophyta, but I'm not sure if it has the capacity to grow like, these big stems, these massive leaves. So the one I have at least is very petite, and it's going to be purple, so I think it's, I don't know, kind of cool. I'll try and put that on the rocks instead and see how that does. I also went to my local aquarium store the other day, and I picked up 2 plants. This one is Cryptocorin nuri, and it is a gorgeous crypt. So I'm hoping that grows well, and I'm probably going to be replacing this patch of Lobelia cardinalis, because originally I wanted to do like, I'm going to do Lobelia cardinalis on both sides, but I think it will be cool to have more variety, so I'm just going to get rid of this. This patch isn't doing that great anyway. I think this is looking a lot better, so for now we're going to keep that and then get rid of this section and fill it in with some crypts, because originally I planted a crypt pink flamingo in there, but it was like literally one piece of a tissue culture that I got for a good deal, and it either melted or got shaded out, which sucks, but what you gonna do? So yeah, I think that crypt there would look pretty crazy and fun. So yeah, and in other news, in terms of some changes, I think I'm going to be removing this plant, which is Rotala tailandalensis, because it's not been doing great for me. It looks okay, but I'm sorry about that. I had to fiddle with my mic a bit. So it looks okay-ish at the tips, but if you have a look down there, you'll see all the leaves are like melted, and it just looks pretty bad. And then since I grow so much of this Ludwigia Super Red, obviously it looks great, it's a classic, you can't go wrong with it, but I do not know if I want to replace it. Processing. Okay, actually, I'm not so sure. So I think we're going to keep the Ludwigia SP Super Red, and I just think the Rotala tailandalensis is going to be replaced by the second tissue culture plant that I got, which is Ludwigia Dark Orange. So it's literally gonna look similar, at least in leaf texture and like stem structure, to literally get super red. But it's going to be a very cool, vibrant orange, which I think is pretty neat. And I've never kept it before, nor have I kept a plant that's that orange. I saw some pictures and it looked really cool, so I thought, why not? So yeah, this is what we'll be working on today. Obviously, aside from that, I'll be trimming a lot of the unruly plants. Hygrophila corymbosa is looking good, so I'm gonna keep that. I think the bacopa is looking good, so we're gonna keep it like that. I might just make the golden plant, I forget the name, Nasea pediculata golden. I'm going to make it a bit bushier and just plant, trim and replant. Like I said, get rid of this, and then the Hygro P and that over there. Now, I'm a bit concerned, obviously, because you know, when a tank is trying to balance itself out, which this hasn't really achieved just yet, you know, not everything is perfect. So a bit worried I'm gonna mess things up by doing this, but I think it'll be fine. Even though it might go through another ugly phase, things change very rapidly in high-tech systems. So as soon as it turns ugly, it'll be on its path to turn pretty again soon. So I'm not like insanely worried about that. Plus, if I am worried, I think I might just keep up and do a bit more water changing along the way, just to help the plants, especially the tissue culture plants, transition into a state that they can keep up with the nutrients and such. So yeah, I hope that was pretty easy to follow. Sorry, I'm all over the place, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead with that and follow along. All right, so like any maintenance session, we're starting off strong by turning off our pumps or filters. And yeah, first thing I got into, obviously dropping the water level a little bit, so then I have some space to work with. I'm gonna have to apologize in advance. You're gonna see my big ol' head a lot because I couldn't get a better angle of this tank. So yeah, get used to it. I'm sorry, at least for now, till I get better. So I cleaned up the glass a bit, and then immediately started tearing out the massive Hygrophila pennidifida clumps off the rocks. Now this task was insane. Like, these things get so rooted into the rocks, I can't even describe it. Like, they're anchoring themselves. Like, I feel like it was insane to take these out, because in some parts they were anchored so hard that when I would try to like brute force them out, I could see the entirety of the like rock bank that I make lift up. It was insane. So yeah, this took me quite a while. I thought it would have been a lot easier, but I didn't realize how much more meticulous I'd have to be. So I very strategically pulled and like pried some pieces off the rocks and out of the substrate, just because they were such a nuisance. But yeah, they all got out eventually. I'm sure I have some stem or two left in there though, and yeah, it won't be the last of the Hygro P. I'm sure it's like doing a maniacal evil laugh as I ripped it out, kind of like, I'll be back. Anyway, just being a little stupid there. Next up, I made a huge mess by ripping out all of this Lobelia cardinalis. This was also surprisingly very deeply rooted in the soil, so it was kind of a pain to get out. And yep, all of that silt coming out of the substrate was a nuisance, but I just got straight into it. I definitely recommend for anyone that's not familiar with this and is panic prone with dust. I know a lot of beginners, myself included, are. You know, when you kick up a bunch of dust or mulm, yeah, like, it sucks and it's gonna make everything a little dirty, but things take a while underwater, so don't just sit there, get your siphon and start sucking it out, and it won't really cloud the water as much. Anyway, so I cleaned off all my plants that I'm gonna add, and now I apologize as I blocked the whole view once again, but I am adding the Cryptocoryneuri right where I removed all of that Lobelia cardinalis. And this was fairly simple. Thankfully, it didn't, you know, I didn't have any issues with the crypts uprooting themselves, even days after. It all went well. I got a bit more of a glass clean in there with a sponge. I decided to rub off some algae from my lily pipes. I'm being quite lazy in not cleaning them right now. But yeah, I'll make a video sometime soon about cleaning those, because I think it's informative. I don't think many people know how to clean their lily pipes appropriately, so stay tuned for that. So here I'm ready to add the new Hygrophila. It's the purple crystal, I guess that's what they call it. Yeah, it was fairly simple. A bit of a pain because I was being too lazy to figure out a normal way to glue these underwater without, you know, dropping the water level to an insanely low amount. So what I ended up doing for one of the bunches, I just got a lead weight, like a lead plant weight, and I just add some super glue on one of the sides and just slap on the clump of Hygrophila. And yeah, there you go, I'm showing you right now. Bada bing bada boom. And I just plop it wherever I need. Now, it doesn't look that good right now, but you can just like bend it around what you want, and soon enough, whatever plant you end up doing it with, it will grow over the weight and you won't even notice the weight. That's pretty much it. I did not record this because I'm bad at making videos, I guess, but I did end up removing the other Lobelia cardinalis patch, and yeah, just filling the water, remineralizing it for the shrimp, and yeah, just some last minute touches, I guess. Nothing crazy. The S-Rapins did kind of uproot a lot, which was kind of a bit of pain, but it wasn't that bad, honestly. I've had really bad planting situations where the plant would just not stay in. I would rate it about a 4 or a 5. Just a little bit annoying, but oh well. So I finished up topping up the water, and that's about it. It's time to let this tank settle and, you know, let the gears start coming back into motion as it rejuvenates itself. Alright, and this is how we're looking a couple days later. I'll just give you some quick updates. Thankfully, I haven't had an insanely destructive algae bloom or something crazy happen. We can start off with the cryptocorin, as we can see. That is the cryptocorin nuri, as we can see right there. It's pretty sweet. I think the leaves look unbelievable. I can't wait to see what it grows into. The Hygrophilon purple crystal, not gonna lie, it's a little underwhelming of a plant, at least in this scenario. It just, yeah, I mean, sure, it's like supposed to be purple, but I don't know, man. It's okay. It's fine. I'm giving it time to cook, right? And hopefully the Ricardia moss on the rocks grows in a bit more. So that's my vision, is that, you know, the moss will be grown in, so then the stark green will contrast with that Hygrophila. So we'll see if that ends up happening. And over here, this is the S. repens. It's doing quite well. I think there's already some new growth on it. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot better than the Lobelia. I love Lobelia, it's just, I feel like I wasn't really feeling it for this tank. Plus, it wasn't doing as well for me. It's in the back there. You can barely see a couple stems there, but that is the Ludwigia Dark Orange, and it's been growing a little bit. You know, tissue culture plants need a bit of a time to transition, but yeah, I'm already seeing some orange hues, some patterning on the leaves, so I think it's been looking great so far in only a few days. And yeah, this tank definitely needs a bit more time to really come into its own, but I think it's going in a great direction so far. The fish are happy, the shrimp are happy, and yeah, I'm really excited. I've been really surprisingly enjoying this tank, even though it's not looking perfect or, you know, exactly how I wanted it to look just yet. The journey's been pretty cool. I don't know why. It's probably because I've never done a Dutch style and I'm still learning, so it's kind of cool as a scape category, I guess. It is nice to not worry as much about algae and just pumping it with ferts and blasting it with light and being able to see some cool colors and stuff. And the plants are just like growing like crazy and they look so good. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and take care. Happy holidays for those that have holidays to be happy about. And yeah, take care. I'll see you in the next one, and cheers.